Wait, so have you gone through all three now?
Yes, I have.
That's your third pour?
This is my third pour. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you went
Frey Ranch,
Frey,
Thomas
Handy, Stag.
and Stag. Yes.
All right, so what's the Frey Ranch? Is that super hot?
No, you're right. It's got a touch of cinnamon to it, but
132. That's pretty
okay,
warm.
that is hot. Yeah.
But
Delicious. though.
yeah, I mean you're a professional, right? Leveling up isn't a thing.
No.
Yeah, you start at 100.
No, I love high proof stuff. That for me. That burn is so delicious.
Yeah.
So delicious. Oh my god, it tastes so good.
No, this Stag, this Stag, like if you can get past Stag's hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, definitely.
Anything that says Stag, a GTS, George T. Stag, Stag Junior, whatever it is, Stag's a hot brand.
It is. Yeah.
But if you can level into it, right? Start with something milder. None of these are mild. But if you can start with something milder and get into it, you can pick apart so many. Stag is one of the most flavor dense bottles that I think I've had in a long time. It's just like you sip this thing and go, I just ate fruitcake. There are so many things going on all at once.
You know, it's weird that you said that, but whiskey has actually made me appreciate fruitcake.
Really?
As a food.
How so? That's an interesting fact.
I've always thought fruitcake was weird because it had fruit in it and it's a cake, right? And you're not. I don't think that's natural, right? And then I started drinking high proof whiskeys and I started getting tastes of like stone fruit, apricots, and things like that out of a whiskey that is made with corn and grain that is delicious.
Yeah,
And
right.
And so when I started, I remember it was about a year ago. I tried not carrot cake.
Fruitcake.
I tried fruitcake, and I was like, "This is delicious. Why didn't I ever like this before?" And I think,
Well, because every time you're given fruitcake, it's a rock. It's like a rock hard, dense thing that'll break glass.
yeah, but no, I've had fresh fruitcake before, and not really. And,
Really?
And to be fair, I'm not a cake person, right? I'm more of a pie guy. It's a weakness.
I'm a cake guy.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
very much so.
I like ice cream cake, but that's more ice cream.
I
than
like
cake.
ice cream cake. Yeah.
Yes, we had that for my birthday dinner at my parents'
Happy
house.
birthday.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yes.
Tomorrow.
Trying to know. It's turning 32.
32 again. What is it?
Yes.
The 15th anniversary of your 32nd birthday?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Did I nail that?
you nailed that right on the first go. You got it right. I'm sorry. I'm bad at math because I'm only half Asian. But
Do you use blinkers?
no.
Oh, I think you're a lot more Asian than you think.
At least I don't get the Asian flush, man.
Oh my gosh, I just learned about that.
That's a big thing.
I
My
did
uncle
not know
suffers from that.
I didn't know that was a thing. So one of my coworkers, he's Asian lineage, but he grew up in Hawaii. And he educated me because we went out. He's one of my coworkers in the sales industry I work in, and we take customers or people out every once in a while, mostly partners in the community. Every time we'd go out, I'm, hey, you want to get something to drink? He goes, no. All right, cool. And at one point I asked him, I was like, are you practice sobriety or what is it? He goes, oh, no, I love this stuff. I will refuse to drink it at work because of the Asian flush. I'm like, what the hell is the Asian flush? He goes, yeah, if I literally have 2 sips of this, my entire body will turn into a Crayola crayon and I am red as can be. I feel fine. Nothing about me's changed, but I am red. I'm like sunburnt red. I'm like, no way. So him and I went out. He had a drink. I thought he was sick. I didn't know this was a thing. I just learned about it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know it was called the Asian flush. Most of my life, I've seen my relatives get it. My uncles, in particular. One strong memory was I was playing in a heavy metal band, and
you were playing in a heavy metal band.
Oh yeah, I was playing in a heavy metal.
We need to circle back to this.
but so I was playing in this little dive bar in Roseville, downtown Roseville, right? And my grandpa, my grandma, all my Asian family decided to come over and watch me play. I thought that was the coolest thing. And my uncle was there, and he got a beer. And next thing you know, he's all red. And I thought he was having like
you thought he was sick, like something was wrong. Yeah,
but he was just fine. And so apparently that was a physical reaction. And I think I'm thankful that I don't have that because oh my God, that was kind of
you're in the wrong groups for that.
Oh man, I know you can't do that here, but if I had that, I don't know. It's one of those things that I power through. I think I would power through it. Yeah.
But you have to explain it every time.
Every single time. Hey, are you okay, Rob? No, 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 no. It's Asian flesh. Yeah. But the cool thing is that, well, for the longest time I thought I was half Korean and half Irish and English, right? Like predominantly Irish. But turns out, and I have the ancestry test done, I'm only like 5% Irish, and the rest is really just white elsewhere. And then half Korean, with a little bit of Mongol thrown in there, I guess.
Mongol.
Right? Yeah. So, I guess I kind of dodged a bullet there, which is great.
Yeah.
So it's super nice. But also, I don't get hangovers if I drink whiskey. I only get hangovers if I drink mezcal.
Hold on. You don't get hangovers. If you drank your butt off to the point of blackout,
Yes.
you're telling me you wouldn't have a hangover tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'd be perfectly functional the next day, too. Yeah.
Marlene, fact check that.
Oh, no, she has. She has. In fact, there was a recent event that we went to where
Was it your birthday?
No, it wasn't my birthday. But needless to say, I started getting into bubbly.
Okay.
Okay.
Like you started to enjoy champagne.
Yes, like a
Yeah,
lot.
bubbly, sparkling,
right, yeah,
sparkling wines. Yeah.
Sparkling wines, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Take me on this journey because I
know.
enjoy
So-
them.
So, well, okay. So it started. I blame Michael for this one. Our mutual friend Michael.
Yeah.
Donner. We went on a 5K run, which you refused to do, and I've invited you several times.
I will run if you put a ball in front of me.
We'll get
Make
you
it a
there.
sport, make it an activity, make it objective based. I will do it. But if you tell me to run down that street, no thanks. But anyway,
So we did a 5K run in December, right, for the Christmas 5K, and after it, we went to a place called Mimosa House, and they introduced.
oh yeah,
me
I know
to
Mimosa
bubbly.
House. Yeah, very much.
And next thing you know, I was like, "This is amazing! I've never experienced bubbly like
It's
this before."
wine.
Yeah,
It's just carbonated wine, right? So
so
if you
good.
enjoy wines, bubblies are just carbonated versions of that. But it does change the palate.
It does, and I think again, with everybody's personal journey as they kind of grow and their palates evolve and stuff like that, I started really enjoying bubbly, and so at this, and then we did it again at the early toast for after
Yeah,
we
Mario's
did
Early Toast. Yeah.
Yeah, that was super good too. We had a ball of Shandon that we split. We had
Okay.
2 balls actually, and it was really good. But so at this event, it wasn't.
Hold
really
on, you had champagne after running a 5K.
Yeah, it was great.
And you got drunk in 3 seconds.
No, I didn't get drunk.
You
at all.
absorbed that instantly.
Instantly, yeah, but I was fine.
Okay.
Well, we had also big breakfasts with that heavy.
Okay,
breakfast,
good.
So, but we went to a little get together, and there happened to be a ball of Shandon there, and I thought, oh, hey, I like Shandon. I like bubbly.
I've recently discovered that I like
know,
Shandon.
right? So what I forgot to think about was that you don't cross the freaking streams when you're drinking alcohol, right? So not only did I start the night off with a beer, which was a light beer, so
Okay.
low ABV, really refreshing,
Yeah, but
and-
it's still a malted beverage.
yes, yep. And then moved on to whiskey because there was several bottles on the table, and we're like, "Oh, this is nice. This is great tasting." And I was doing tastings. I was not drinking heavily.
Yeah,
right?
like these little guys.
And then lo and behold, ball of Shandon. I was like, "Ooh, I like bubbly. I'll get a glass of that." And I drank that glass, and I drank that kind of quickly because it's cold, right? And for cold beverages, for me, I like to drink them pretty quickly.
Right. When they warm up, they're different and
Exactly.
sometimes
They
often
change.
gross. Yeah.
Yeah. So before I realized it, I think I finished that ball of Shandon by myself, faster than I should have, and then I don't remember the rest of the night. So
no.
yeah. Well, what was I getting with this? Oh,
Hangovers.
Hangovers. So after that,
circle.
yeah. And so I survived that. Woke up the next morning and. My daughter had a dance recital, and I was able to go and do all that. I wasn't suffering from any major hangovers. I wasn't feeling 100%. Obviously it was, but I wasn't dying. Which is great. But I do when I drink freaking mezcal,
That gets you?
tequila and mezcal. For
Interesting.
some reason, and here, but I will have a caveat to that. I went to a friend's house who had this really divine tequila from Mexico, and I forgot the name of it, but I remember feeling like I over imbibed that night
Okay.
on the tequila, and also fearing that crap, I'm going to suffer for this the next day, but I didn't And I think maybe certain tequilas, depending on their process, and what they put
Well,
into
additive
it.
free, like additive free is
yeah.
the new kick, and
Yeah.
and I'm here for it. I'm
Oh, yeah.
absolutely here for it.
Yeah.
Additive free tequilas, all stars.
But yeah, so no hangovers unless it's maybe got those additives that you're talking about.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, going back to the Asian flush thing, I always wonder, like, I'm sure somebody in this world has figured out why that happens, and it's a genetic thing. But I was talking to somebody literally today, the whole concept of Eric the Red. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Eric the Red, I think he was a Viking. Eric the Red, the Viking. I think he was a Viking who was vilified for trying to, poison and take over a nation. Mm-hmm. There's a theory behind that Eric the Red, coming from Viking culture, was the cheeses, dairies, dense meats. Those were all common food products for them. Mm-hmm. And then they go to a culture that is very vegetable rich and has probably never experienced cheese and is trading. And this entire culture of people could be lactose intolerant because they've never had it. Trading with them, they think he's poisoning them. And that's how the war started. Oh. There's a whole subculture of people. I don't know if it's subculture, but there's a whole thing of, people writing up like thinking Eric the Red may have just been trading and started a war with people because they thought he was trying to poison them because their bodies could not consume the product.
That could very well be. I know I've heard of some Asian cultures that believe cheese smells like spoiled milk because it is spoiled milk.
It is spoiled milk, yeah.
But they to the point where they can't eat it, right?
Okay.
Because it's so bad. That being said, I've had gone to places that sell cheese and the cheese smelled like pure garbage but tasted like gold. So delicious.
Yeah.
So delicious. God, I love cheese. Yeah. It took a lot for my brain to go past the smell to eat the cheese.
Just like socks or something.
Oh yeah, no, smell like literal garbage. Garbage. Like in the dumpster, freshly opened, you take a whiff and you're like, oh God. But that's what it smelled like. And I remember the guy saying, no, I know what it smells like, but you gotta taste it. And it was amazing.
How do you mentally get past that?
Well,
I gotta ask.
Like, I think I just kind of dove right in.
Well, yeah. What was your in the moment thinking? Was it literally like just do it?
I was thinking this guy's full of shit, and I'm going to prove him wrong by throwing up all over his store. But no, I just went in, bit into it, and it was glorious. But it was such a disconnect in my mind.
Yeah,
because the sensory.
These two things don't add up.
No, and when you smell something, smell is a big part of the taste for me, right?
Well, olfactory is like the majority of your first taste of anything.
Yeah, and I don't know how
you learn that in cocktail.
I don't know how this kind of overrode my sense for smell with the taste of the cheese. And then so I was so impressed, I bought the cheese and I brought it home and I forgot about it for a couple of weeks, right? And then I realized I had this cheese, like, oh, I'm going to go back and revisit it because it's delicious cheese. Totally forgetting it smelled like garbage, right? And then I open
it in the house. Everybody's like,
yeah,
what happened?
Seriously,
take
my
the
kids
trash
were like,
out.
What is this? This is horrible. And it was so good. So good. Smelled so bad.
What was the name of the cheese? Do you remember?
Oh no, it was when we were going to up to Inverness, and there was a cheese store along the way. I'm trying to think of what it was called. I'm drawing a complete blank.
Inverness. Where's that?
Drake's Bay up over by.
Because I swear to you, I think I know this cheese store.
Yeah, it's like a small.
It's a small little store in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, off of I think Highway 1 or something.
And it sells nothing but like cheeses and wines. And there's a winery somewhat nearby.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! And I go in there. I grab random stuff.
Mm-hmm. That cheese was fantastic.
Okay.
In fact, I would not mind buying more of that cheese because.
Is it like dragon fruit? Like the smell is so off-putting that.
Is that dragon? No, it's not dragon fruit.
No, sorry, not dragon fruit. Durian.
Durian
fruit.
See, I would.
I've never smelled durian fruit, and I kind of want to try it.
I am very interested in that. I don't know if I can do that, but I think I want to try.
Oh no, I need to. It's one of those things.
we got to do it. Open it up in the middle of a field or something like that. Wasn't there 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 was a court case that I read about recently where a lady sued her ex because he had opened up this Norwegian can of fish called Durmstrang or something like that.
Yeah.
That is the most smelliest, stinkiest.
Oh, dude.
And
You're getting to my stomach.
And in the courtroom, the judge was like, "Why would you try to sue him for for doing that?" And so she literally opened up a can in the courtroom, and the judge was like, "Okay, you win," because
Oh my.
they couldn't take the smell,
man.
and it was that bad.
I wanna try durian fruit. I wanna see it. Like I wanna see because I think it's India. There's a country, I think it was India, that has literally banned durian fruit on public transit.
Yeah, and in planes too, because
Planes are public transit.
Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
yeah, it's a form of public transportation. But they've banned it because people bring it on there, and it is so awful. But I need to experience this for
I
myself.
do too. I hear it's got a custardy
So I need to try both sides, right? I want to. What is it like when you cut it? I want to smell this.
All right, we're gonna have to find one.
We'll get
And
one.
we're
Yeah,
just- we're just
I want
gonna-
to smell what everybody's talking about, but then I want to actually see what it's like when it's prepared. Right? It's a food.
You don't eat it raw?
I don't know.
don't know.
Maybe you eat it raw. So there's somebody out there on the internet. Maybe Google knows the answer. How do you normally eat durian fruit? But I want to try it as a food. Like it is still a consumable for human beings that has nutritional value. So I want to give this a shot.
Yeah.
Let's get a durian fruit.
There, I've drawn a blank on what this fruit was called, but Marlene and I really loved it. But in order to get the fruit out of this big pod, right, of fruit, you had to coat your hands in olive oil.
What?
Cut into it a certain way, and then extract the
Is this,
the
this
flesh
is
of the fruit.
blowfish?
No, this is a fruit because I guess the natural oils of the fruit was so sticky or caustic it would stay on your hands. It didn't smell bad, and it tasted great. It tasted really interesting, and we've done it twice now, and I've loved both times that we've tried it. I'm positive it's not durian, but I am just really.
I need to know what
like
this
that.
is. So you guys have done this?
Yeah, let me see if I can look it up because that was such a good fruit.
You can set your cup down on that.
Oh, that's okay. I could drink and look at
Like a
same
pro.
time. Dude. I am no.
I need to know what this fruit is. It's a fruit, you said?
Yeah.
Interesting. So here I'm on the third one. I'm on the fray. Oh man, you started on the
Yeah, I
fray,
started with the fray.
dude. It smells like.
It's heaven, dude. Fray. I don't know what it is.
How do
about
they
their
do
stuff.
it?
It's their master distiller, and along with.
Well, I mean, it's not just the distillation. It's something about the location they're at and the way they culture the product they have.
Yeah.
This is literally cereal. This is Pop-Tarts. Oh, this is like Pop-Tarts.
I have a theory, and it's weird. It's
They
weird. that I
poison the
think
water?
this- Was that?
They poison the water.
No. I have this feeling that people imbue their essence into things, right? And
Okay.
I know it's kind of a fringe
Like their
idea.
ethereal essence, like their spirit into it.
Yeah. So I've gotten this with guitars, going back to being a metal player, right?
Oh yeah,
Bass
we need
guitars,
to come
right?
back to that.
But I've played guitars from people who have put their heart and soul into music, and there is something magical about
Like you can feel it.
Yeah,
Just feels
it
like when you
hums.
strum it, it goes.
Yeah.
Something about that feels good.
right. And sure, you could chalk it up to they dialed it down to perfect, bringing it to where it needs to be and stuff like that. Versus a brand new off the line guitar, where there's no I don't want to say soul, but like there's just no magic to it, right? And I feel that certain things have that quality based off the people who work on what it is, right? And with Frey, Colby Frey, and his wife, they love that land, they love that farm, and they love what they do. And you can
Yeah, it's not just an income to them; it's a lifestyle.
It is.
Yeah.
And then the master distiller, he's just his name is Russell, I believe. He's really, really, really knowledgeable about it. He's very passionate about it too, right? There's a love there that that you don't sometimes see in the larger distilleries. and you can taste it. With these barrel releases that
Sure.
are coming out, these picks that are coming out, they're great and they're fantastic.
It's
And
not a commercial grade 50,000 bottle a year production.
no. Well, I think they do more than 50,000 bottles.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
50,000
yeah,
barrels
yeah.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there's magic in it,
Yeah.
And so when I go to a place that has people working there who have that kind of passion, that means a lot to me. Same thing with
you've
any
been there?
artisan. Yeah.
You've done a tour and talked to them?
Frey? Oh yeah, I've been there twice. And God, man, both times were fantastic.
I've still not gone.
They did a barrel release. We went up there, just had a riot. It was so much fun. We went to Kobe was showing us around the farm. He showed us his little hangar where he does his his woodworking and stuff, and
His workshop. Yeah, okay.
his workshop. And of course, I look up and I'm like, "Hey, what is that?" And he goes, "Oh, that's my hovercraft." And I'm like, "What?"
Hold on. You said I look up.
Yeah.
There's a hovercraft like suspended?
No. So he has like in the big hangar that is his workshop, right? He has like an office built and everything like that has a roof on it or top part, and he had a hovercraft on top of there. And I was looking at it, I was like, "What the hell is that vehicle?" And he goes, "It's a hovercraft." I'm like, "Is it a real hovercraft?" He said, "Yeah, it's a real hovercraft." I'm like, "We need to write that now." He goes, "We would, but it's so dry outside that it would kick up a storm." Yeah,
It would kick up a storm and tear the balloon apart.
But he was like, "We're going to ride that," and so and I believe him. So
Oh my
I'm gonna hold him
gosh.
to that. But no, it was just he's just like him and his family are just genuine people who really enjoy it, and just generous, right? And they just love what they do. And
I mean, subtle plug, but people who have that level of passion deserve it, right? So give
yeah.
them that subtle plug. I mean, I'm on board with that. Absolutely. My soapbox. So let me get on my soapbox for one whole minute about the idea.
Jackfruit.
Jackfruit.
Sorry.
All right, let's do a jackfruit experiment.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see a jackfruit. I've not done it yet.
Delicious. Oh my God, I love jackfruit. It's like a
I want to know more about the gloves.
Semi-sweet.
And I want to do a durian.
Durian,
Yeah. My soapbox about the things that feel like they have soul, right? Or they have soul put into them is absolutely cars.
Yeah.
Never yet today have I driven any form of car that has an electric motor that has a soul. It's just, I mean, even like newer cars in general feel soulless. They just feel like everything is disconnected and they're put together in, high profit machine organization. And this car that I've got, that thing's got a soul. The cars of the past, those have souls. The cars that I've built, the race cars I've driven in this world, like same concept, right? This has a soul. Somebody put their soul into it. That Toyota Camry I drove, vanilla as can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can relationally put your argument about soul in spirits to soul in cars. Like, yes, I've driven that car and that car has spirit. It has a soul. It has spirit. It has soul dumped into it. And there's something about it. It could be the cheapest car on the planet, but I love it. Same thing with these. This Frey, that wasn't an expensive bottle by versions of expensive bottle, but I would put this up against some of the most expensive bottles that are out there because the palate, the soul, the tasting experience is just right off the smell. I've never. That's the weirdest thing ever. I feel like I'm 10 years old again, having my cornflakes with cereal with extra sugar sprinkled on top. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the magic of whiskey too, man. The memories that it extracts from you when you're tasting things in there. Chris Culpepper, a friend of ours in our group, he one time we were tasting something and he just blurted out, "Oh my God, that's like purple Pez." And
right?
Holy crap! If that didn't transport me back to being a kid with a whole Pez dispenser and pulling out the purple Pez and thinking, "Wow, this is the greatest thing in the world!" Right? I miss being a kid.
It's so cool. Like there's tons of experiments around it, and like it's a known thing that taste can be relational to memory.
Oh yeah.
But it's so cool how taste can be relational to memory. You taste this thing and you and I are drinking the same thing. Well, you're not right now, but you and I are drinking the same thing. And I taste this and I immediately recognize riding my bike at 8 years old down the street. And there's one street I could picture it. It's right over there. You taste it and all of a sudden you're 6 months ago in Hawaii doing this one thing. And because we're picking out different things and in this taste, right? This taste is literally like my vision has disappeared and I'm in a different spot.
Oh yeah.
Just because I tasted something.
And the association, the memory association, might actually, influence whether you like it or not.
I get the dopamine. I get the
Yeah.
euphoria from my 8-year-old riding his bike and seeing the dumpster over there and, the apartment complex and the parking lot and I vivid memory. And I now like this thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But to everybody else, this is complete garbage. But to me, this turned into an experience. It's magic.
It's magic.
Yeah.
It's magic. Oh God, I know that feeling. Like for me, I don't know why, but Wild Turkey 101 is like my baseline for
Really?
Yeah, I enjoy it so much.
Did you have a particular experience with 101?
No, I think it's just and I don't even recall what memory it's pulling for me either. But I know that when I drink it, I feel like, this is whiskey. This is, and it could be that when I was a teenager and I wasn't supposed to, I was at a party where there was alcohol that wasn't supposed to be there. And probably one of the easiest alcohols to get was Wild Turkey 101, right? And that just brought me back to that night on a subconscious level, But for some reason, I'm always happy when I take a sip of Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah?
It's very distinctive to me too, and it's weird too because I've had current iterations of Wild Turkey 101s. I've tried a Dusty of Wild Turkey 101, and there's some sort of common thread between. They're totally different, but there's a common thread.
Dude, Dusties are like, yeah. But anyway, keep going.
Man. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird, and I hate to admit it, but if I ever had the ability to travel in time, my first priority would be to check out the whiskey selection at the local liquor store back in 1994
For 30 cents.
and say, "Oh, what's available right now?" And then really enjoy that stuff because there's some sort of magic. I don't know if it's the age in the bottle or
It doesn't age in the bottle.
Yeah, or how
that's what it tasted
Yeah.
like back then.
Right. Did people take for granted that they had it really, really good?
I don't know if they took it for granted because that was just normal place.
Yeah, but they didn't
and
like
it's
whiskey back then.
I want to call it the decline, right? Because I'm not saying products are bad now, but they're different.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a decline in the quality they had because of the production that they've had to do to mass produce. But it was so gradual.
Yeah.
But you go to the people who have soul in their product,
Yeah.
and this is our new Wild Turkey.
That's true.
This is our new baseline.
Oh my God.
Mine was Crown Royal.
Ooh.
I've tried Crown Royal again as an adult.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a fan. It's okay. I mean, I'm not a fan. I wouldn't gravitate towards it. But when in my younger years, that was the premier thing. That was like, oh, we got the whiskey that comes in a purple bag. We're ritzy today. We just got that. So let's drink this neat. Let's Crown and Coke, right? Crown and Coke was the thing.
Yep.
That's the one that if you gave me a Crown and Coke today, I would taste that and I would immediately relive 5 years of my life.
Yep.
And I'd be happy about it. And everybody else would taste it and go, what? This is awful. But I'd be like, I have 5 years of memory in that little cup right there.
Right?
Yeah.
So good. So good. Man, there's just a world there to explore. And one thing I appreciate about whiskey and the journey that I've been on in particular is that it's elevated my palate to where I can really appreciate good food, And,
Yeah.
And I think
This is a tasting journey.
oh my God, it's a journey. Marlene's always been a foodie, but when I first met her, I was just all about junk food and just eating things that I just needed to survive, right? and then of course,
You might still be. I've seen you walk down the streets drunk and end up with random pizza in your hand.
dude, you know what though? I get free stuff walking down the street drunk. It's I don't know if it's because I'm super good looking. or
That could be part of it. And charismatic. And
or
lovable.
something. But
Like
man,
every bit of it.
I remember when we were in San Francisco
Mm-hmm.
and we drank at that bar, and then I was like super
Yeah,
happy.
you were outside the window waving me over to come eat this random
yeah, 'cause
pizza
it was
you
a
got,
really
and
good pizza.
And I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" I ran out there and I tried this pizza. I'm like, "Rob, where did you, dude? You scored. Let's go!" I'm like, we were sitting out on the street of San Francisco eating pizza while everybody else is in the bar doing this thing.
Oh my god, my wife got pissed at me because we ate so much. I think I gave away the rest of my pizza.
You did,
too,
yeah.
like
You gave it to
homeless guy.
a homeless guy.
Yeah, and my wife was like, "Why did you save it for me?" I was like, "I don't know. This homeless guy was really hungry." So
Yeah.
it was good pizza.
Look at you and your generous heart.
Oh man, yeah. It was just a good time. But like food, anything kind of like the sensory experience, right? It's just amazing. And,
Yeah.
and I love that. I love being in like my whole thing with trying to do more with outdoor cooking, like barbecue and stuff like that. But I want to elevate what I'm making. I want to make the best of what I can possible.
That's how my cocktail journey started, man. Be careful.
Oh, it's a slippery slope. I know that. right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been spending too much money on building out the kitchen, but I want the environment to inspire me. I want it to be where I'm comfortable in and creating what I want to create. And
I mean, since the dawn of time, vibes matter.
it does. It
Vibes
really
and
does.
environment matter. They really do. I mean, as much as people think they're superficial, they create mentality. They alter
Yeah.
mentality.
No.
You walk into a black room, you're gonna not be as happy.
I think a lot of like higher end restaurants recognize this. They create the mood and ambiance, right?
Yeah.
And they balance that out with these amazing dishes. I've been stuck on these YouTube videos of this dude going to Michelin star restaurants and seeing that experience. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Right? Someone taking the art of cooking.
No, taking cooking and turning it into art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really pushing the boundaries of that. And I want to experience that, right? And so if I ever win the lottery, all I'm going to be doing is traveling, going to Michelin star
What about
restaurants.
like the hardest job in the world? How do you judge the best of the best when it comes to food, which is the most subjective thing in humanity? Right?
I think for me, and honestly, I don't look at it as a contest. I know that people have their favorites, their favorite.
Well, that's
dish.
what Michelin stars are. It's competitive. It's a contest.
Oh, yeah, totally. But I'm also not a fan of the whole Michelin star thing. I get that they go to the places that are supposed to be exceptional.
Sure.
And a lot of times they are, right? But I've also seen reviews of places that people have gone to that are Michelin star that fell flat.
Well, yeah, they get their star, they rest on their laurels, and
Yeah.
they change nothing, alter nothing, and then they slowly decline. And yeah, that can totally happen.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. But I think like I like today, my boss took me out to a burger joint to celebrate my birthday, and it was like
Happy birthday again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But it was one of the best hamburger melts I've ever eaten. I don't know why. It just at that time, just enjoying that burger
Sure.
was just freaking amazing. The fries were fantastic. And so
I mean, that's what elevates food, right? Yeah. You could have the best food in the world if your environment sucks. Yeah.
I think.
Well, I don't know. There is the opposite of that. You could have the best environment in the world, and if your food sucks, people will stop coming.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I think there's a balancing act too. I think when you kind of balance good company, good food,
True,
and good spirits, if you're into spirits, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
And so, and for me personally, on my journey, I want to make like the best steak, or I want to make a beautiful porchetta or something like that. Something that's just extraordinary, right?
Well, pick
and
one.
Share it with
pick
my,
one.
Oh,
Let's
no,
make that your next journey.
It's going.
Mine was the
I'm bringing it.
penicillin, right? We talked about that earlier. My journey was the penicillin. That was where I broke my teeth. And I want to make the perfect version of this one thing. And that's what turned it for me was I had to take, the concept of the human brain, singularly focused, although that focus can change in milliseconds, but it is singularly focused. I'm going to focus my energy into the one thing. And I'm looking at all these cocktails and going, oh, I want to do this better and this and this and this. Pause life. this one. And I picked the penicillin. That's the one I'm going to use to learn how to perfect something. And that's the one that I dug apart. So let's pick yours.
Yeah.
You just named 3 things, I think.
yeah.
So silo, let's isolate that. Pick the one that you want to take as your journey. The perfect steak seems difficult
It is.
because the steak has been perfected a billion times.
And there's different ways of going about it.
yeah.
I think one of the best ribeyes I've ever had that has
The best what?
ribeye steak. I've
Ribeye.
ever-
Okay, ribeye steak.
And this is something, and when I say that, I mean that it moved me emotionally to eat this.
There you go.
Right? Was at the 1010 room. Jason Lockard, I think, actually made the steak. And he's the owner of the 1010 room. And I remember when I first.
So this was recently.
This was recently. Yeah, I think this was like the
opening.
right before the official launch.
Okay.
I think that he was bringing like the Sacktown whiskey and Sierra Coast people in.
Sure.
And so we were there, and so I ordered the ribeye, and I remember biting into it and thinking, "Oh, this is good," but that was it, right? But when I kept eating it, the seasoning, the flavors of it, just started compounding in my mouth, right?
Yes.
And I remember
blossoming and
Oh, God.
blooming.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And I remember at one point when I took a bite, and I had to pause. I had to think. I had to go. I really have to take a moment to analyze this because this is insanely delicious, right? It was a journey. It didn't start off like with a flavor explosion. It was subtle.
Yeah.
It was like a gentle embrace, right? It was asking you to love it, but very shy about it. And then when you took a second bite, it trusted you more. It said, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to open up to you. I'm going to share
Okay.
who I am with you." By the third bite, it was just fucking your face because it was just freaking delicious. Oh, I'm sorry, I said the F word.
Whatever.
It was delicious. Oh my God. And it was, I just remember I was checked out of the conversation with the table. I was focused on the steak.
It took you to another place.
It did.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And I loved it. And ribeye is not my favorite cut of steak. But I got it because I thought, okay, for me, a ribeye is a challenging steak, right? There's a lot of fat in there. And if you don't cook it right, it's not going to be good.
It'll get stringy or like stringy on the bottom end, or the fat will emulsify so much that it's almost gelatinized and dried out or gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really need to balance it out to render it perfectly and,
Yes.
and have that be the
And you need the fat to seep into the muscle tissue and hydrate and yeah.
Oh, so and I understand that each cut of steak is different, right? You're going to get different marbling
Yeah.
and everything like so. Going to a steakhouse is always going to be a crapshoot on whether or not you're going to get a really good steak or an okay steak.
Right.
Maybe you're going to get a bad steak, right? But that night, that time, that moment, that ribeye was my world, and it was amazing.
So if I had children of the world, if I had a bunch of people, if I had to educate them on one thing I would pass down or pass on to people of this world is when you start to have an experience with a beverage or a food or something that is, like you said, taking you out of the conversation, do it. Like, do it. Don't, I'm here with these people. No. You're this one body in this life. Mm-hmm. When you're tasting that ribeye and it's taking you out of the conversation, go out of the conversation. Like, this thing and this thing, and I'm educating myself and I'm enjoying my world, and like take all those things in because that conversation will be there when you come back.
Yep.
I get that every once in a while with cocktails, and I learned to embrace that. Right, like I taste this thing, and like everybody's talking to you, like, "Oh, how's your drink? How's your drink?" I taste this thing, and I go, "Oh, you know what?" And as soon as I start thinking that, you know what, all these people they start disappearing, and I'm start thinking about the layers that are in this thing, the taste that I'm getting, and that's why like the whole idea of classes where you can sniff and actually smell the flavor, and bring that in, right? Slow down your life and actually enjoy the thing that's right there in front of you.
Well, and that's where I think the term slow food comes from, right?
Yeah.
It's a concept of slowing down everything that is distracting in your life and focusing on the nourishment that, keeps you going. And, I really like that principle, that concept. I like the idea of, having a table, shared food, right, with friends and everything like that. But I do love when the food takes you into its own universe, essentially, right? We're saying you have to focus on me.
Right.
You have to savor this, right?
Hey,
This
and
is
you know
never
what
going
else?
to happen again.
Put your damn phone down.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like, you be here with me or be here with that food, put your damn phone down.
yep. It's hard, and it's funny you say that because like I've been catching myself taking photos of food like Marlene does. Marlene documents everything, which is
I'm not
wonderful.
opposed to that.
No,
Take a picture
no.
of the food, then
Yeah.
put your phone away.
Oh no, yeah, no, definitely. But
Because like then it catalogs it as a memory for you later.
yes,
Yeah.
but I watched something recently I saw something recently that was just totally encapsulated this concept. There was a concert. I forgot which concert it was, like a big venue concert.
Yeah, it doesn't
like
matter,
Coachella or
yeah.
something, right? They had footage of it from back in 2002 to this year, 2023.
This year it looks like this.
Yeah.
Then it
And
looked like this.
2002, you saw everybody getting into it, dancing. The crowds were wild. And then in 2024, it was just a bunch of phones up in the air and no one moving, right?
Yep.
And it was taking people out of the freaking
It
moment.
does.
The moment that they paid to be in. The moment
Yeah.
that a million other people are videotaping that they don't really need to actually videotape because they could go on YouTube and get a better footage of it, right? And
Well, there's professional cameras.
yeah.
They're already filming it for you.
Yeah, and I mean, seriously, who looks at old videos? Well, unless you're really
Most
bored.
people don't.
Yeah.
For me, like, I'm okay flipping it out for a second, snapping the photo that I really like.
Oh yeah,
Because someday when I'm scrolling through my phone, oh, that memory, I remember that. It brings me back to that. But I'm not going to watch the concert through my viewfinder.
Yep.
Or the viewfinder. I just dated myself. I'm not going to watch the camera. I'm not going to watch the concert through the screen of my phone. I'm going to snap the photos. I'm going to put it away. And I'm going to knock the phone out of all these people's hands so that I can see. Yeah.
It's funny it's the most favorite concert I've ever been to. Actually, no, I can't say that. There's been several amazing concerts that I've been to, but one that really sticks out to me was back in 1998. I was interning for 93 Rock.
Oh, yeah.
They're called 93 Rock. They're 98 Rock.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
but
98
they were
Rock, yeah.
They were all metal back then too, which was great. And they needed somebody to chaperone a bunch of people who won tickets to go see
Sure,
Tool
they still
at the
do today.
Warfield in San Francisco in their party bus, right? And of course, 1998, I was like a 20-something. I think I just turned. Yeah, I was just 20 years old. I wasn't even old enough to drink. And so I was on this party bus with a bunch of people, whole ton of alcohol, and it's funny too because I didn't drink at the time, so I was completely sober. And we get to the Warfield, and the concert just blew my fucking mind.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, and I was again totally sober, but I was in a euphoric state. It was amazing. I was totally in the moment. I don't think I've ever been that present in my life, enjoying something.
Until that steak.
Oh, until that steak. Yeah, that kind of brought me back to that spot, right? But like nowadays though, like we went to a Imagine Dragon concert for my kids, right? Everybody was holding up their damn phones.
Yeah.
And they were out of the moment. And
Yeah.
I just remember thinking, this is sad. There should be a no phone policy when people go into to concerts, right? It takes them out of the whole experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, takeaway.
And here's the thing too. Every year, my memory of that concert from Tool gets better and better because I probably embellished the hell out of it,
Yeah.
in my brain. Because I'm pretty sure
It was real. It stuck with you.
Oh yeah, there was a scene. There was a moment in the concert where this light rig comes down with a rope that just touched the stage, right? And for 3 songs, Maynard just ignored the rope. Just ignored it. And we're like, what? I was thinking, what the fuck is it? Did they screw up? Did they brought a prop that wasn't supposed to be there? But then this one song played that he did. And in this one moment of that one song started. And he grabbed the rope. And that light rig was a strobe light. And he started spinning it around. All the lights cut out, strobed. And I just remembered being filled with so much energy that it was great. That
Yeah.
mosh pit was amazing. I got a boot to the neck that night. It was awesome. Oh, it hurt for like months.
Oh man.
I probably should have gone to the doctor, but it was great.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's exactly how it happened because,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Well, I mean,
Doesn't matter.
that's perfect, right? Let's close this out with the statement: live in the moment.
Live in the moment.
You got to
It's hard.
like eat that bite of food.
Yeah.
Take a drink of that drink. Watch that concert. And if it takes you away from what you're at right now, let it happen.
Yes.
Live in that moment. Cheers.
Cheers.